Good evening. My name is Lorenzo Robinson,
My name's Moxon Glosson.
I'm Nevarie Solomon.
and welcome to the next episode of RU Sports Speaks. This is episode 4 of season 2. It's been a long time since we've done this. Just want to start out. How you guys doing? You guys doing all right?
Yeah, pretty good. Starting off the semester off strong. Hopefully keep that up throughout the course of the semester. But, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, this has been a pretty chaotic semester for me so far, but in a good way. I always like staying busy, so the Eagle Eye's been doing even better than normal. So hopefully, just like Nevarie said, we can just keep up the pace.
Yeah. As for me, I've been better. But I think everything is gonna be good. It could always be worse. That's what I always say.
The camera's not on this week, people, but Lorenzo is in a sling.
I am in a sling.
You're wondering.
We had to turn the cameras off. We don't want people to see me right now. You know what I'm saying? Confidence isn't where it needs to be on camera. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, not doing great, but, it could always be worse. I always take that into account. So,
Facts.
just blessed to be back at school. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So just going to jump right into it, man. We had a few really good games this Sunday, starting off the Nfc Championship. I'm just going to get right into it, man. Who in the heck saw Cincinnati coming as the AFC champion?
Not me.
Not me. I definitely had the opposite outcome of that game. And it was crazy seeing them come back from the deficit where they was. Like, being down to a team like that, Kansas City, is especially playing in Arrowhead.
On the road.
On the road.
Yes.
That's something a lot of teams don't really, are successful with. And seeing them come back and seeing Joe Burrow just take over that game, oh, man, it shocked me.
Yeah. Even when Joe Burrow was torching Georgia in the SEC Championship Game in 2019, I still loved watching him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's built for this, in my opinion.
Right.
And honestly, I don't care. I'll just preface this by saying this has probably been my favorite NFL playoff season I've ever seen.
Oh, most definitely.
Yes.
It's probably been the best
Most definitely.
NFL playoff
Yes.
season in a long time, if not ever.
Yes.
And I'm so glad to see, it's a wacky Super Bowl. You have, a team that everyone was saying, at the beginning of the season, oh, they're going to win it all because they've got basically everyone on their team, the Rams. And then you've got, which I know we'll talk about the Rams in a minute, but then you have the Bengals who came out of nowhere with Jamar and Joe Burr, as my brother calls him, Joe Burr. And it's been so much fun, and the Bengals-Chiefs game was no different. I fully expected after that crazy Bills-Chiefs game for the Chiefs to just carry that momentum in and win. But, again, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they found a way to win. And that's what the Bengals keep doing, finding ways to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the craziest thing, right? Because when you look at their team top to bottom, it's not really, crazy talent on that team. You know what I'm saying? I know they got pieces in certain spots. Trey Hendrickson's a really good pass rusher. Logan Wilson, that linebacker, is really nice. Jesse Bates at safety.
Jesse Bates.
But, doing it with mostly, young and unheralded guys and guys who came from other places.
Yeah.
And, Eli Apple and Chidobe Awuzie are two corners who, on their previous teams, were looked at as busts. And now they come to the Bengals and, they're solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A guy like Larry Ogunjobi, who's a D lineman, I know he's injured right now, but he came from a different team, and now he came from the Browns, actually, came to the Bengals and gave them a little bit more reinforcement on the D line. Unfortunately, his season is over. But, that's just an example of the type of guys that they have. Quentin Spain, one of their linemen, I know that line gets a lot of flack, but Quentin Spain's a pretty good offensive lineman. He was on a different team last year. They brought him back. So that's the thing. They're doing it with so many unheralded guys and young guys, of course. We talked about Burrow. We've talked about Chase. We talked about Joe Mixon. T. Higgins. I don't think we've talked about T. Higgins. He played out of his mind. T. Higgins, 6 receptions, 103 yards. He played the game of his life when he needed to.
Yes.
And he's been a solid number 2 option all year.
Yeah.
So, they're just we've never seen a team like this where I think in their last 3 games, last 2 games definitely, I can comfortably say that they were the underdog and probably big underdogs.
Yes.
On the road in Tennessee, Derrick Henry coming back, not a lot of people gave him a chance to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the road in Kansas City, especially after that classic Chiefs-Bills game, it just seemed like it was destiny for the Chiefs to win it again. And then he went up 21-3, and it was just like, here it goes. You know, like the storm is coming.
Yeah.
And then Joe Burrow, man, led those boys back. That defense bowed their neck, stopped Kansas City a few times, picked off Pat Mahomes a few times.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man.
That's what I think was the biggest turning point in the game was Cincinnati's defense. I feel like second half, once they made those adjustments, I think second half their primary target was to shut down Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
And I think they did a great job of that second half. So once that happened and they got a few turnovers, 3 and outs, I feel like the momentum then started to go for Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. And I wouldn't say necessarily Jamar Chase because I feel like he was double coverage. You know, he had the safety in the corner.
Of course.
Yeah, right. I feel like that was going to happen regardless. But like he said, T. Higgins played a great game. He stepped up in a game where he had to step up. So I feel like that momentum was just on their side, and they just kept it rolling. And Joe Burrow just created a miracle.
Yes. I think Joe Burrow is one of those rare quarterbacks that makes everyone around him better.
Mm-hmm.
So, my go-to guy from when I was in college that's now on my team is being double covered by, I would say, a pretty solid defense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll just go to T. Higgins, and he made it work. And the defense was so, I guess, opportunistic and they've been that way the past 2 games, as you were saying, Lorenzo. And in my opinion, that's what I see them as. They're still going to be the underdog going into the Super Bowl even. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure the Rams will be favored or are favored right now. And truly, I'd love to see either team win. But it would be really cool to see a team getting really hot at the right time, playing really good defense, sticking to fundamentals, creating opportunities to get back in the game like they did against the Chiefs and in Arrowhead Stadium, mind you, after that classic. It'll be really interesting to see what happens on the field on the 13th.
Right.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the NFC Championship game, and I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit on this one. The Rams, of course, came out on top against the 49ers.
Yeah.
But, I know you remember. I'm not sure if you remember, Nevarie, because, you were here, but I'm not sure if you remember. But there was someone, we did a podcast in season 1, and there was somebody who said, I can't remember who it was, but there was somebody who said that they thought that the Rams were going to go to the Super Bowl. And they thought they were going to win. There was someone who said that. Do you know who said that? Would you like to remind our listeners, who said that, who made that statement?
I'm pretty sure it was you.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah, pretty sure it was you.
Pat myself on the back a little bit. We don't do it enough in life. We don't give ourselves enough credit for certain things. So I'm going to go ahead and pat myself on the back for this one. Of course, Los Angeles Rams came out on top. You guys knew that already, though. How did they do it? Well, they did it with my boy Matthew Stafford.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Did it with my boy Matthew Stafford. I said on this very show, in this room, in front of this mic, that if Matthew Stafford has a team around him, that's a Super Bowl quarterback.
And I agree with you. I did agree with you.
And oh, man, did that team show up.
Yeah,
it did.
They couldn't run the ball that well. That 49ers front seven is nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
That front seven is nasty. We know who they are. We got Nick Bosa. We got Eric Armstead. We got Fred Warner. We know about those guys. We know we can't run on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm using we very loosely, of course. It's not my team. I'm just saying we.
What about those Chargers?
No. The Rams aren't my team, but I got a lot of pride in this.
Okay.
But we got Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham, a dynamic duo. Odell Beckham, of course, getting there mid-season after the Browns tried to leave him for dead. All he did was put up 9 receptions with 113 yards.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Cooper Kupp, 11 receptions, 114 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Amazing.
In the defense, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Eric Weddle coming from the couch, coming from the crib.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know, I mean, what more can I say about them that I haven't already said? You know, I picked them before the season started. I picked them in April. I picked them in August. I picked them mid-season, and now they're here, man. Now they're here. So what do you guys have to say about it?
Let me just be the first to say I am not a Matthew Stafford fan. I'm not a fan of his game. I think, you know, throughout his career, he's had help. He's had, you know, the two best receivers in the NFL at one point, Megatron and Cooper Kupp. And I just seem like, to me, it feels like I will give him credit where credit is due. Matthew Stafford, yes, he does get the job done. But I think his receivers, and a lot of times, bail him out. So that's why I'm not really a fan of him.
I agree.
I don't know, man. It's just, it might just be my hatred for Georgia and him, you know, coming from Georgia.
I was about to say.
So, but yeah, man, I'm just not a fan of Matthew Stafford. But like I said, I will give him credit. Yes, he's a good quarterback. I feel like he gets the job done sometimes. That team around him is a very good team. He has probably the best defense in the league, who is playing out of their mind. Jalen Ramsey, like all those guys you just named. But yes, Odell Beckham. Now, Odell Beckham, I will say, he shocked me. He shocked me. I thought
me too.
I thought Odell Beckham was on his downfall.
Yes.
And working his way out of the league. But with him going to that team and those guys around him, yes, he shocked me. He has stepped up in a huge way with, you know, Cooper Kupp being the number one receiver and him complimenting Cooper Kupp in such a great way. So I will give him credit for that. Yes, Odell, he stepped up in a great way. But yeah, that game it shocked me, because I'm not gonna lie. I thought 49ers had it.
Really?
If Tart would have made that pick,
Yeah,
it probably would be a different conversation right now. But you know, he didn't get the pick, and even then, Garoppolo got the ball back with, what was it, like 2 or 3 minutes left, and still couldn't get it done. So, but I mean, hats off to him.
And we'll get to Jimmy G in a minute, I'm sure. But I've watched for, when did Matthew go to the NFL? 2009, 2010? I've watched for over a decade now this guy play on a team that has just consistently been, you know, the Lions, consistently had the worst luck I've ever seen from any professional sports team possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe outside of the early 90s Bills teams that lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. And I grew up, Matthew Stafford was my hero. And I'm sorry, Chicago.
Oh, no, you're fine.
He was my hero.
You're fine.
Just like I'm sure like McElroy and those guys you looked up to when you were younger, right? Or Julio, right?
Yeah.
So it's really cool, and I've been saying, and my dad has been saying, because my dad's a huge Georgia fan too, and his favorite quarterback's Matthew Stafford. And we've been saying if he gets the right pieces, he would be an absolute. I mean, he is built to, his play style is built to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion. And you've seen that. You've seen him in a McVay system now, with, you know, just a powerful receiving core. And now that you have Odell Beckham hitting his stride, like just completely being revitalized out of nowhere, you know, it's cool. And I'm not like, Odell sometimes annoys me with his antics, but I mean, I love him. I really do. Yes. And it was really cool to see. I mean, did he get 10 receptions, 9 receptions?
9 receptions.
9 receptions in a really big game. And then Matthew coming in, finally getting a big victory. Even if they somehow don't win the Super Bowl, which I don't see how the Rams can lose this game, but it was really, really cool to see. I think this is the Rams' Super Bowl to lose. And yeah, I'm excited. It was with the 49ers, I had them, if you remember, Lorenzo, 2 weeks ago, I had them as like my dark horse, like watch out for
you
them.
did.
You know? I did. And I'm like, they're hitting their stride at the right time. They don't really have very many weaknesses unless you want to count Jimmy G's inconsistencies. They've got the best tight end in the league. They've got a really, really strong
The best tight end?
Mm-hmm.
You don't agree?
I don't.
I think Kittle's the best.
Listen, I'm not gonna argue with you because Kittle is a very, very good tight end. A very good tight end.
Who you got?
I got Kelsey. I got Kelsey.
One or two.
You can
they're
go either way.
interchangeable.
Yeah.
They're interchangeable.
I can switch them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce's a beast. I just like how hard-nosed Kittle plays and how he can block. And of course, it's not like Kelsey can't block, but they've got him. They've got just a real, like you guys said, a solid front seven with Bosa leading the charge. And I was like, they just play good old-fashioned hard-nosed football, and I liked it. And they're hitting their stride at the right time. But so it was cool to see that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I actually enjoyed that game. Was more of a chess match than the other games that have been going on, and I always like football chess matches.
Right.
So that one was the most enjoyable for me. But
not to mention Debo has been playing a very good season all season.
He has.
I really wanted this to be Debo's year because he really proved he can do it all. He lined up in the backfield, lined up out wide.
Arguably
I feel like
the best player in football this year.
Debo?
You think so?
Arguably.
I think all
you
around.
can make the case.
I think all around.
Between
his all-purpose yards are ridiculous.
And importance to team, just everything. Like I don't know if you could find a more important player to their team than Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
And I think you can tell that I think Debo got hurt in that Rams game. Debo got hurt and he sat out for a few drives, and I think Jimmy G he went 3 and out constantly. So you can see it in that game. He needs Debo in situations like that. You have to have him on the field at all times.
Yeah. Yep.
It doesn't matter where he's playing, outside, inside, running back. That's just the kind of player. You've seen him throw a few touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a player who played better than him this year. But, staying with the 49ers, as Moxon said, they're a team that doesn't have a whole lot of weaknesses, but the one main weakness that they have is the quarterback situation. So where do you guys see the 49ers going? Which direction do you see them going in going forward? Seeing how close they've gotten to winning the two of the last 3 seasons, where do you see these guys going moving forward at the quarterback spot?
I'm not gonna lie. I understand how inconsistent Jimmy G can get at times. Right now, I'm just not ready for it. I don't think Trey Lance is ready for his time in San Francisco. I can't see them putting him in right now. Future draft picks though, I do feel like they should pick up another quarterback. Jimmy G, I feel like Jimmy G has to be in a position where his spot is not solidified, if that makes sense. I feel like he's comfortable and a little too comfortable. I almost feel like he's going down the same lane as Matt Ryan. I feel like Matt Ryan is just so comfortable, but I can see them going to get a quarterback in the upcoming drafts.
I agree with you, Chicago. I trust Kyle Shanahan with his offensive mind. Jimmy G is just an enigma, man. He's like, God, who are we talking? Bo Nix, like an enigma. Not to hate on Bo Nix.
Oh, he's not my quarterback anymore. It's all
no,
good.
right. He's a traitor to y'all now.
Yeah.
But
see what he do in Oregon.
And of course he's not. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's an NFL.
God bless him.
He's one of the best. He's still one of the best in the world, right? But to see the 49ers be so close, and really if you really look at the stats, goes back to mediocre quarterback play of why they have been so close but not gotten it in the past few years. I wouldn't be surprised. I know they made some moves to where you talk about those draft picks, like them trading. That to me shows that they are ready to move on from him. I'll say I won't be surprised either way, because when it comes down to it, he has been on 2 teams that have either gone to the NFC Championship or won the NFC Championship the last 3 years. And he's just been really inconsistent, and my gut tells me that they'll move on from him. That's what I'm going to predict.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling the same way. I think that this is Jimmy Garoppolo's final year. Well,
Yeah.
this was his final year in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I believe that. Just from a standpoint of getting the most out of that roster, because they got a lot of guys who are really good and in the prime of their career. Deebo Samuel, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, all the guys that we've already named. Brandon Ayuk came along and became a really good wide receiver, too, down the stretch during the season. We know about their O-line and that running game and Kyle Shanahan and what he does offensively. It just always felt like they were playing to keep the game out of Jimmy G's hands. And the Green Bay game was interesting because they only scored 6 points on offense. They blocked that punt and, hit the extra point, give them 13 points. It didn't really feel like Jimmy G was being forced to win the game for them.
Yeah.
It just felt like he was just trying not to lose it. And that defense, led by, all those guys and first-year defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans, they put a game plan together to really shut Aaron Rodgers down in that second half. Aaron Rodgers in that high-flying offense that Green Bay had. And that's how they were able to win that game. Very similar to Dallas. Dallas with another really good offense. 49ers put up a few points, get a few turnovers, make a few stops. Jimmy G's not being forced to win the game. He's just being asked not to lose it. And, it goes all the way back to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game against Green Bay again.
Yep.
He threw, 8 passes? They just ran the ball the whole game.
Yep.
Raheem Mostert went crazy. Like, that was his coming out party.
I forgot about old Mostert.
Yeah. That was his coming out party in that game. Jimmy G wasn't asked to win that game either. So you need a quarterback. Obviously, we've seen teams be able to win Super Bowls with game managers. We've seen Trent Dilfer, Joe Flacco. But even Joe Flacco had to catch fire for the Ravens to really hit that next level, though. Yeah. But, we've seen teams, Russell Wilson in his early years, we've seen teams with game managers and guys who don't necessarily go out and win the game. We've seen those teams win, but more often than not, you need a quarterback that can make plays down the stretch of games.
Yeah.
Jaquiski Tartt has to catch that interception, right? But down 3, 2 minutes left, you give the ball back to my offense. I got Deebo Samuel on one side. I got Brandon Ayuk on the other side. I got George Kittle at tight end. I got Elijah Mitchell in the backfield. I got one of the best O-lines in the world on my side. 2 minutes left, I got to figure out a way to get the ball downfield. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't do it. And not only was he not able to do it, he flamed out in spectacular fashion. It was amazing to see.
Yeah.
And there was something very telling from Troy Aikman. I usually don't listen to the commentary a whole bunch, but Troy Aikman said something that was very telling, and it was very indicative of the way that the 49ers kind of handled Jimmy G throughout the year. He said, "I'm afraid that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have to win this game."
I knew you'd say that's what he said.
I'm afraid.
Yeah.
They were afraid too. They didn't want that to happen. They went up, 17-7, and they didn't want Jimmy Garoppolo to have to be the one to win that game for them.
No.
So I think they should move on from Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't think Trey Lance is quite ready yet.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite ready yet. So this segues into a perfect situation for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yes.
He's from California. If you remember, on his draft day, it's like one of the craziest draft day situations when they drafted Alex Smith over him, and he was in the green room just looking pissed off that his hometown team didn't pick him. Cameras asking him, reporters asking him with the cameras flashing, are you mad that the 49ers didn't pick you? And he's looking there like a sad puppy. That was like his villain origin story of sorts.
Yes.
It would just be a nice hometown reunion for Aaron Rodgers to go back to San Francisco. Now, I know obviously he comes with a lot of baggage in terms of, speaking his mind, and he might want to bring his guys with him. But I think if you have an opportunity to get him, you do it. That's where I'm at in terms of that.
Aaron Rodgers is a personality in the NFL, right?
To say the least.
He brings a certain weirdness with him that I think is usually charming. Like the State Farm commercials make me laugh. Of course, he has that whole vaccination issue with the NFL, which of course makes me laugh more because he really just doesn't give a crap, honestly.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go to the Titans. personally. Reportedly he's bought land in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
His teammates are confident. They asked a few of his teammates, and they're hinting that he's looking to Tennessee. It wouldn't surprise me for that perfect villain homecoming story of him going back to the 49ers. But I think the Titans probably would like Rodgers over Tannehill. I mean,
I was just gonna say, what do you think that means for Tannehill?
For Tannehill, which I don't know.
You give him up if you can get Rodgers.
Exactly.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. And the question is, okay, well, what team wants him more? Because after what we've just talked about, we're pretty confident that Garoppolo's going to part ways with the 49ers. I'm pretty confident that the Titans are going to part ways with Tannehill. I like the idea of I don't like the idea, but I'm hinging on the fact of him going to Nashville. His teammates are confident. From an article I read earlier, once you sent me all the material, Lorenzo, that he's not staying, and a couple of them I think hinted at him going south. It'll be interesting, but my money's on him going to Tennessee.
What say you?
I can see him going to San Francisco. It's just if you get a guy like Rodgers, what do you get in return?
Exactly.
And so that's to me, that's probably the most exciting part, seeing who gets what in return for Rodgers. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Lorenzo earlier, future first round draft picks wouldn't be too bad. Mm-hmm. But man, seeing A-Rod and Shanahan's offense.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. You got him playing along with Debo. That'd be a perfect world. I can see it.
Now, because I am a Chargers fan, there is another team out there that's been floating around, and I most definitely do not want to see this. I would be remiss, though, if I didn't bring it up. The Denver Broncos hired Green Bay's offensive coordinator as their head coach. Their quarterback coach is now Denver's offensive coordinator. That would really be a bad thing for me, I would say, if Aaron Rodgers went and joined that division.
I'm kind of sick of riding on the coattails of our 2015 Super Bowl win.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Aaron go to my Broncos for sure. It'd be awesome.
Now that is something I cannot see.
You can't see him.
I can't see.
He doesn't fit there.
I cannot.
I don't think he fits there either. It'd be funny, but 49ers, I see. Tennessee, I see it too, but I don't see him fitting on the Broncos.
I don't know if he wants to live in Denver.
Yeah.
He's been in Green Bay this whole time, and that's always felt weird to me. Mm-hmm. But we've just gotten so used to it because he's been there. But if he relocates, he's married to an actress and everything. It just seems like he wants to get somewhere warm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he's not trying to wear long sleeves in the playoffs all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But for my sake, I just hope that Denver is not the option. Speaking about the future of one quarterback, we got to talk about another great quarterback, legendary quarterback, Tom Brady, deciding to call it quits, man. What is, I guess I could start here in terms of the moment that I'm going to remember most from Tom Brady. And, if you're a Falcons fan, you should probably cover your ears. I really do apologize. But the 28-3 comeback is most definitely what I'm going to remember him for. Me being born in 2001, I didn't really get a chance to see much of that original Patriots dynasty, with Teddy Bruschi and Rodney Harrison and all those guys. And, I don't really have a whole bunch of memory from that, as far as like a personal connection. So the Brady that I remember most is a little bit later in his career where he was using his mind a lot more. He wasn't as athletic, but he was getting the ball out so quick, and he had those little quick receivers, take your pick. You got Wes Welker, you got Julian Edelman, Philip Dorsett later on. They just kept getting those guys.
Chris Hogan.
Yeah, Chris Hogan kind of big though, but he kind of fit that same mold.
Yeah.
So having guys like that and going into that Super Bowl, everyone, in the city of Atlanta and, me growing up in the metro Atlanta area, you just could feel a lot of bandwagon Falcons energy, a lot of people coming out the woodwork, becoming Falcons fans. But, I was all here for it because it's the hometown team, you know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to see the hometown team win. And when he went up 28-3, man, it just felt like it was perfect. But I was telling people that I was around, I was at a Super Bowl party at the time, I was like, please do not believe that this game is over.
Yes.
And they're having a good time. They're getting second and third place, on the food and stuff. And, they're, getting something to drink and everything. They just, like, partying it up. Like I'm saying, please do not think that this game is over. And Tom Brady engineered a comeback that we have never seen. We almost saw it again a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But
yes.
But we've
bring that up.
but we've never seen it completed like we did during that night. 28-3, coming all the way back, tying the game up, and once they got the ball in overtime, it just felt like it was over.
Yeah.
So that's what I will remember Tom Brady for most, coming back from 28-3, down 25 in the Super Bowl, making it happen.
Yeah, I think the one thing I'll remember is his last game, because like you said, he really came back and he almost did the same thing. I just think it came down to special teams, the kicking aspect of the game. But I was in my apartment a couple weeks ago, and a huge Rams fan, one of my teammates.
Oh gosh.
He got so big, and I'm like, listen now.
Who were you playing?
Yeah, you got to think about it. You got to think. Tom Brady is not someone you want to count out. Second quarter, third quarter, you got to play a full four quarters. And that comeback just it got him quiet for a minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, this is Tom Brady we talking about. But like we said, he didn't complete it. But man, I would have just loved to see Tom Brady just pull it off one more time. I honestly did not think this would be Tom Brady's last season, even with, the speculation around it, him being ready to retire. I just could not see Tom Brady leaving the NFL without winning a ring that season. Yeah.
One more.
Yeah, so that
that season.
Yeah,
like
that same
Gotcha.
season. Yeah. I always thought Brady would go out with a bang, win a ring, and then announce his retirement. But hearing that, yes, that did shock me. But man, I'm gonna always remember that last game that he played. And to mention, he threw his last touchdown on arguably one of the best corners in the game. And even Jalen Ramsey went on Twitter and said, man, Tom Brady's last pass was a bomb, and it was on me.
Yeah.
So seeing him get that recognition from Jalen Ramsey, a guy who's, a
he
chirper on the field.
Credit.
He doesn't give anybody credit. So I think I'll just always remember that.
Yeah. I have a list of stats here, just in case anyone listening doesn't know who the greatest of all time is. 22 NFL seasons, 20 for the Patriots, 2 for the Bucks. Most TD passes in NFL history, most passing yards in NFL history, most regular season and playoff wins in NFL history. Playoff wins including, he has 35 playoff wins, which is 19 more than the number 2, which is Joe Montana with 16. Most Super Bowl appearances, which I always think about the Super Bowls that he really could have won, like the helmet catch in 2007 against the Giants.
Both Giants games.
Uh-huh. And the Eagles game in 2018. Without that Philly special play, when they went up, I was like, this could go either way. But the most Super Bowl appearances, 10 and 7 wins, obviously more than any other one NFL team. He has more wins than that. 5-time Super Bowl MVP, most in NFL history. All-time playoff leader in TD passes, passing yards, and, of course, completions. Most Pro Bowl selections in NFL history, 15. 3-time NFL regular season MVP. 2009 Comeback Player of the Year, and named to the NFL 100 top 100 all-time, number 1 out of the 10 quarterbacks on the list. So, to me, I know you guys have said before that LeBron's y'all's guy, of like the greatest American sports star to ever do it. Tom's my guy. LeBron's in my top 3, of course. Tom's personally my guy just because of how he has done it, the 28-3. him using his mind instead of his athletic ability. That is what sets him apart. And my favorite Tom Brady moment. Gosh, there's been so many. Of course, the Falcons one wasn't very fun because I wanted to see Atlanta win one too. But,
I think we all did
Yeah.
a little bit. Well,
Yeah.
I can't speak for Chicago, but
yeah,
you had to want the Falcons to win, right?
No,
you didn't want the Falcons
wow.
to win?
no,
Wow.
did not want the Falcons. I'm not a
Atlanta person.
I'm not a anything Atlanta. I'd stay far away from it.
You didn't just want to see it happen, all just for the
No sir, no sir,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah, I loved his man. The 23 moment was awesome. It really was. I honestly loved seeing just the fact that he went the first year back in Tampa Bay, or was it second year that he won the Super Bowl?
First year in Tampa.
In Tampa, yeah, first year in Tampa. Him leaving the Patriots and winning again. And I just remember turning to my brother. I'm like, I mean, that settles it. Any debate? Because I mean, he just switched teams.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't prove how good he is, I don't know what will. But that Super Bowl win last year was just, I was like, there's my proof there of the GOAT.
In the process, breaking what was the last Super Bowl? Super Bowl 55. So breaking a 54-year curse of a team not being able to make the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady and the Bucs becoming the first team to do it in Tampa Bay and Raymond James Stadium. But now we see the Rams in the Super Bowl as well. So, maybe Brady has started the floodgates or something,
Yep.
But, yeah, just a fantastic career. Most definitely the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yes.
I'm biased when it comes to, greatest sportsman of all time, but definitely the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. So a major salute to him, and we'll never see anything like that ever again. So from endings to new beginnings, the Washington football team finally announced their long-awaited new mascot name. It is the Washington Commanders. It's going to take some getting used to, I would say. The Commanders, man. Yeah.
Should be Washington ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. Listen, I personally liked it at Washington football team, but I guess it was just a placeholder. But it grew on me. I don't know about anybody else, but
it grew on me, man.
it took a while to get used to. When it first came out, everybody was like football team.
That's it.
Everybody was telling jokes.
You can't get any more basic than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, over the course of the season, it's kind of something we just forgot about. It was like it just became normal. But Commanders, not really a fan. Not a fan.
I mean, it really is, and Lorenzo, I think you were saying this before we started. It's like you made a custom Madden
Yes.
team. It's horrible. It's like a 9-year-old made a custom Madden team. It could have. I mean, seriously, could they have made it anything else? Anything else? It sounds so forced patriotism. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It is just. It could have been anything else. And Chicago, Washington football team had grown on me too.
Mm-hmm.
I just like referring to them as Washington.
Right.
After they made the switch.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was fine. It really was. Of course, I mean, it was memed into oblivion when it had first appeared. But I mean, the Commanders really. Yeah. And I don't know. Are they changing like what are their logo? I know they have to change the logo, but like what else are they changing? Their uniforms?
Yeah. They got a whole new uniform set. That's they debuted it. I believe it was Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
I like the uniforms. I think the uniforms look nice.
Ooh, I do like the uniforms. I actually do like those.
I like uniforms.
Yeah.
But just, Commanders, every NFL team has their nickname. We got the, 49ers, they're the Niners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's, there are teams that got nicknames within their nicknames. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The Pats, the Bucks, the Pack, talking about Green Bay.
Yep.
Just I don't think I want to. If I'm a person who lives in DC, I don't know if I want my team called the Commies. You know what I'm saying? America fought so hard against communism for so long, man. I don't know if, the commies would be setting us back. But I also think the Commanders might be a little too long to say all the time.
Yeah.
It don't just roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
Man, I still call them the Redskins sometimes. I don't know why.
So do I.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh wait, never mind.
Yeah.
But then I go, okay, Washington's fine, or the football team's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I just got so used to calling them the football team, and
Yeah.
everyone knows who the football team is.
Yeah.
It's them,
Yeah.
It's Washington, it's Commanders. That's going to take some getting used to. But that's our show. I want to appreciate you guys for listening, and I want to thank Moxon. I want to thank Chicago for taking time out of their busy schedules to join me. And that's all we have for today. Thank you.
Thanks, people.
See y'all.